Okay, so in the last lesson, we talked about the income game and we talked about who this course was designed for. So this course was not designed for those who have the income mentality of the bottom half of the country. So I don't really care what your income is right now. I don't care if you're making $20,000 a year because you just graduated college. But do you want to have the mindset of the top half? Or more importantly, do you want to have the mindset of the top 1%? Because really this course is to try to help you to get to that mindset of the top 1% of the country. We want to create this true wealth mindset. So in this lesson, I want to expand on that a little bit and talk about the universe of knowledge, or your circle of knowledge. So this here represents all the information there is to know in this entire universe. It's a lot of information, right? And out of all that information that's out there in the world, there's this much of it that you know to be true. So this slice of the pie, you know to be true. You know your age, you know your name, you know a lot about maybe the career that you're in. There's a lot of information that you actually know to be true, and you know it, right? And then there's also a lot of information that you don't know. So maybe you don't know anything about chemistry, or maybe you don't know much about math or sciences, or whatever the case may be, or history even. You know that you don't know that information, all right? And then there's the rest of this that's actually in your blind spot, okay? You don't even know about it. So you don't even know that you don't know about it, and you don't know about it. It's just in your blind spot, right? So the way that you can actually increase or expand your circle of knowledge are three ways. Number one, the places that you go. So a lot of these experiences that you have. I talked about in my webinar that I've learned a lot of this information out of doing everything wrong, not necessarily doing everything right. So I've got a lot of experiences. Not all of them are very good, but I've got a lot of experiences where I learned things the hard way. All right. And of course, I've had a lot of experiences where I've learned things the right way as well. But these experiences that we have are one way that we actually learn. The other way that we learn, the second way, is the things that you actually read. And I know the internet nowadays is a wealth of knowledge. You can get on there, you can read blogs, you can read different articles, or just good old-fashioned books. There's a lot of ways that we can actually learn through our personal study. Maybe you've always had an interest in finance, and so you've done a lot of researching online, or maybe you listen to a lot of the talk shows, the radio talk shows, and things like that. There's a lot of information that you can learn on your own. And then the third way is the people that you meet. Okay, so the third way that you can expand this circle of knowledge is through transferred knowledge, we call it, right? Where you learn from somebody else. They always say that smart people learn from their mistakes, and really smart people learn from other people's mistakes. And so just to kind of set the stage for the rest of this course, we are going to be learning with each other. That's why we have our private Facebook group where we can get in and we can talk about some of these lessons, and we can interact with each other. We're going to actually learn together. I'm going to be sharing some of my knowledge, and then we're also going to be learning together as well. And I also want to talk about this little slice of the pie right here. Now notice that this little slice is part of what you know to be true. And this part is very interesting, and I really need to emphasize this before we get started on the rest of this course, because this is the information that you think is true that ends up not being true. My mentor Don Blanton always says, if what you thought to be true turned out not to be true, when would you want to know? All right, and that is going to be the whole, just the whole foundation of this course. We are going to expand our universe of knowledge, but we're also going to possibly correct some misconceived notions about things. There's a lot of myths out there about a lot of these topics that we're going to cover, and we're going to get into that. So my challenge to you as we dive into this course, because we've got a lot to learn together, and my challenge to you is to keep an open mind. And I promise you, you will gain a lot from this information as we learn together.